one kiss, one single stupid caught-on-camera kiss didn't just embarrass you, but cost you $30 million, your dream job, your wife, and your entire reputation in less time than it takes to order a pizza? Picture this. You are at the absolute peak of your life. You're a millionaire CEO of a cutting-edge tech empire. You've got the brilliant wife, the 2 perfect kids, the whole 9 yards. Life isn't just good, it's a highlight reel. Then, on one random Tuesday night at a Coldplay concert, you decide to bring a plus one. A plus one who, and this is the important part, is not your wife. You're cozying up, thinking you're just another face in a sea of thousands. You're invisible, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Because in the next 10 seconds, the stadium's kiss cam is going to find you, the lead singer is going to call you out to the entire world, and your life as you know it is going to detonate like a nuclear bomb. This isn't a movie. This is the insane, 100% true story of how CEO Andy Byron went from the top of the world to public enemy number 1, all because of one single fateful moment. And trust me, you're going to want to see how this train wreck ends. Let's rewind the tape. Go back to that night, the night that lit a match to Andy Byron's perfect life. We're at a Coldplay concert. The energy is electric. The stadium is a galaxy of phone lights, and the crowd is roaring. Everyone's there for a good time, especially one guy who has absolutely no clue that the universe is about to serve him a slice of karma so brutal it'll be trending worldwide before the encore. That man is Andy Byron, the CEO and co-founder of a major AI company called Astronomer. Think big data, big contracts, big money. He's a force in the tech world, but not exactly a household name. And maybe that's what he was counting on. He wasn't in some flashy VIP box, no. He was just in the crowd, trying to keep it low-key. The only problem? He wasn't alone. Sitting right next to him, practically in his lap, was a woman named Kristen Catt. And who is Kristen Catt, you ask? Oh, just the head of human resources for the very same company he runs. Yeah. Let that sink in. The CEO and the head of HR. And they weren't sitting like they were about to discuss quarterly reports. Their body language was screaming, "We hope nobody we know is here." And then it happened. The moment that changed everything. The giant jumbotron, the size of a small building, pans across the crowd. The kiss cam graphic pops up. It's supposed to be cute. A little bit of fun. But when the camera lands on Andy and Kristen, the vibe shifts from fun to a 5-alarm fire of pure panic. It wasn't a rumor. It wasn't speculation. It was right there, broadcast in high definition for tens of thousands of people to see. Kristen whips her head away, throwing her hands over her face like she's witnessing a crime scene. Andy hunches down, trying to become one with the railing in front of him, a pathetic attempt to vanish into thin air. It was the most guilty-looking reaction in the history of kiss cams. And just to pour gasoline on the fire, Chris Martin, the frontman of Coldplay himself, leans into his microphone and delivers the fatal blow, his voice echoing through the entire stadium. "Oh, look at these two. All right, come on, you're okay. Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy." That one line, that one sarcastic observation from a rock star was the confirmation the world needed. It was an atomic bomb dropped on Andy's life. Because before the last roadie had even packed up the stage, that clip was everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. It was an internet wildfire. The online sleuths, bless their messy little hearts, did what they do best. They had names, job titles, and marital statuses faster than the FBI. Within hours, the world didn't just know it was some random dude. They knew it was Andy Byron, CEO of Astronomer. They knew the woman was Kristen Catt, his head of HR, and they knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that what Chris Martin joked about was the stone-cold truth. Now, before this, Andy Byron had carefully curated this perfect image. In the tech world, he was a giant. Astronomer was a powerhouse, dealing in AI and data orchestration, landing multi-million-dollar deals with government agencies and massive corporations. He was the guy on stage at conferences, in his crisp suit, talking about leadership, innovation, and building a modern corporate culture based on, wait for it, trust and ethics. Oh, the irony is just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
On his social media, he was the ultimate family man, posing with his beautiful wife, Meghan Carrie Ann Byron, and their two kids. He'd post these inspirational quotes about employee empowerment and integrity. He was selling the world a fantasy, and the world was buying it. But behind the LinkedIn platitudes and the perfect family photos, a very different, very messy story was playing out. A story that was about to cost him not just his marriage, but the very empire he spent his life building. And this, my friends, is where the story goes from a public embarrassment to a full-blown personal and financial disaster. While Andy was living his best secret life at a concert, his wife, Meghan, was at home. Imagine her, just scrolling through her phone, maybe catching up on the day, when she sees it. Not through a text from a concerned friend, but because it's going viral. Her husband, making out with another woman on the world's biggest stage, being called out by Coldplay. The sheer gut-wrenching public humiliation is impossible to even comprehend. No warning, no explanation, just betrayal broadcast to the entire planet. But Meghan didn't go on an angry Twitter rant. She didn't post a tearful TikTok. No, her response was a masterclass in quiet, devastating power. First, the name Byron silently vanished from her Facebook profile. Then, her entire Instagram account, poof, gone. Friends said she just cut it all off. What was there to say? The internet had already said everything. The world watched, wondering what would happen next. Would she forgive him? And then the other shoe dropped. Hard. A source close to Meghan confirmed she had filed for divorce. And she wasn't just asking for the house and the dog. Meghan is reportedly seeking $30 million in damages. Let me repeat that. $30 million. That's half of Andy Byron's estimated $60 million net worth. For a hug on a jumbotron, one moment of terrible judgment, one fleeting public display of affection could now cost him $30 million. And that's before you even factor in the lawyers, the potential alimony, and the career that was currently in a death spiral. And the sources close to her make it clear this isn't about spite. This is about a woman who was loyal, who was there from the beginning, who raised their children and built a home while he built an empire. And after being humiliated in front of millions, she was simply demanding her pound of flesh. And honestly, the internet was cheering her on. The public reaction was a tidal wave. Twitter exploded with memes. That Coldplay clip was reposted on TikTok with the saddest, most brutal breakup songs you can imagine. My personal favorite was set to that song that goes, "When you try your best, but you don't succeed." It was savage. But it got worse. People started digging. They unearthed all of Andy's old LinkedIn posts about integrity and trust. The comment sections became a digital roast. People were merciless. Guess trust doesn't apply to your wife. Hi, Andy. Even his own company's LinkedIn page became a battlefield. Someone sarcastically commented on a company post, "Let's talk about boundaries in the workplace," starting with the kiss cam. The company was sending a clear signal, we are not touching this with a 10-foot pole. And that's when the professional guillotine fell. Inside Astronomer, things were imploding. Andy wasn't fired, not officially. He was suspended indefinitely, which in corporate speak is basically being put in a penalty box while the board of directors figures out how to fire you without getting sued. You know an internal investigation was launched immediately. How long was this going on? Were company funds used for their little getaways? Were Kristen's position as head of HR, the very person supposed to prevent this kind of thing, compromised? And speaking of Kristen, her profile was scrubbed from the company website. Gone. Vanished. Astronomer was trying to distance themselves so fast they were practically breaking the sound barrier. It didn't take long. Andy officially handed in his resignation.
The entire empire he built crumbled in a matter of days. And then, just this week, the most pathetic little cherry was placed on top of this disaster sundae. Andy Byron has reportedly been telling his friends that he's broke. Broke! Now, let's be clear. He's not homeless. He's not eating ramen for dinner. He's millionaire broke, which is a whole different universe. But sources say he is genuinely terrified. One person said he's whining that it's not fair to lose that much money over one mistake. He's in an emotional tailspin, can't sleep, and is convinced the divorce, combined with the career fallout, is going to financially ruin him. And you know what? He's not wrong. Losing half your net worth, paying insane legal fees, and being booted from the company you founded with no golden parachute? That's a catastrophic blow, especially for a guy used to living in the stratosphere. So while Andy is spiraling in his mansion, what about Megan? She hasn't said a single word publicly, but her actions speak volumes. She's meeting with lawyers, getting her life in order, and pulling herself out of the wreckage with a chilling level of calm. Her silence isn't weakness. It's pure, unadulterated strength. The public sees it too. They're calling her a queen, a symbol of dignity. Someone even